All right, guys, I was doing something fun. I was doing something fun, guys. I was just having a little fun. I just put on a little mask. I'm having a little fun. It's me, guys. I'm here. Can you guys see me and hear from me? Can you guys all see and hear from me? I decided not to do Zoom. Can everybody hear me? Let me know if everybody can hear me. Can everybody still hear me on this Zoom? Is everybody able to hear me? Can everybody hear me? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get the. I'm not using Zoom right now, so it's a little bit different for me. Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to utilize what I got here. Bear with me one moment here. And I'm going to do this. Bear with me one second, guys. I'm not using Zoom today. God help me. I also don't like, but what can you do about that? All right, everybody can hear me? All right, perfect, perfect, guys. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing going here. See if it'll work with me. All right, getting better lighting here. All right, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. It's like a studio here. It's like a whole studio here. Bear with me, guys. Maybe like 2 seconds here as I'm trying to adjust everything around. I think we got it good. Just gonna bring light. All right, I think this will work. It'll just have to work. We don't have another choice. This will have to work for me. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to adjust my settings here. See what I got. I think this is as good as it will get, guys. As good as it will get. All right, guys. It's DC. Welcome to the Soap Sanctuary. All soap lovers are welcome. This is my live here. This is my serial killer. All right. All right. It's not fitting the way I wanted to. But anyways, guys, what's going on, guys? Sorry about the delay. YouTube made me. I ended up deleting my first live, which I'm so pissed about. I'm like, as I was trying to figure out these settings, I'm not really feeling YouTube Live, guys. I'm not feeling it. They make it so complicated. I think I'm gonna start using StreamYard instead of Zoom for future Zooms, future lives, because it was just doing too much for me, guys. It was doing too much. How's everybody's doing today? Oh, Candace is on. Okay, Candace is on. All right. Candace is on. Okay, I'm reading through the comments. Hold on, I'm going through the comments here. Jakari says, hey, DC. Dolomex says, hey. Nathan says, hey, DC. Hey, guys, how you doing? Jakari says, the only killing storyline I didn't like was the Oakdale slasher storyline. Very bad. Was that the one with Ryan Serhant where he was like doing with the needles and he tried to go after Lucinda and Lily? Okay, Jakari says, I can hear you now. Dolomex says, haha, I see you bringing props. Yeah, I brought some props. Candace Max says, hey, Candace. Janet Zach says, yes, so she can hear me. Dolomex says, you can hear me. Jakar says, hey, Candace. Leopard says, hi, handsome DC fans. Hey, Leopardus. Jakari says, hey, Leopardus. I'm just reading these comments, guys. Candace Max says, hey, Jakarius. Jakarius. Am I saying that correctly? Jakarius. I think I said it better than Albert. Did I say it correctly? Jakarius. All right, Leopardus says, yes, I can hear you. Everyone can hear me? Okay, perfect, perfect. I made two for you because you're so awesome. Oh, that's so nice. Wait, what did you make two of? Albert is wrapping up DC. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I actually had some delivery food come in, but I'm gonna wait till after the live when I head back to work later on tonight to eat. I don't know. I don't want to eat up the lot. I don't know. You know, when you eat, have some good food, you want to have some time alone with your food. But anyways, guys, this is my live today, guys. We're gonna be talking about serial killer storylines. You know what's crazy is that when I was remembering the serial killer storylines, I forgot about One Pure People, One Life to Live. You guys remember the One Pure People with the white arsonist guy? His name was Tate Harmon. It was his dad, Kirk Harmon, who was part of like a white supremacist group. And they were killing some of the residents in Llanview, and they were targeting people like Nora because she was Jewish. The Vega brothers, they were Hispanic. Evangeline Layla, because they were black. Do you guys remember that storyline back in 06? The One Pure People, One Life to Live. You guys remember that? All right. Nikisha says, hey, DC, Albert suggested his chat head over. Okay. All right. Perfect. I'm glad he did. Thank you, Albert. Leopard says, DC, you need a fan's name for us. James Lottie's, Candace's Candies. I don't know, Ken. I don't. Okay. I almost called you Candace, Leopard. I don't know, Leopard. I don't know. I don't really have a fan name. I just consider you guys like my subscribers in a sense. Maybe I might come up with some one day, but I don't know. Right now, I don't say I'm still having a fan name. Not yet, at least. Jakari says, how did you feel about the Garden of Eden storyline? Oh, was that the one where Matt Bomer was a serial killer, right? Oh, okay. It was a little weird. It was very weird, and I know the writers did that storyline in a way where Matt Bomer could come back. Bomer could come back. It was weird. It was weird. Because Guy Light didn't really do serial killer storylines. I felt like, and that was just very weirdly done. I feel like what did you think about it, Jakaris? This Chemo Beauty says, "Hi DC and everyone." Hey, this Chemo Beauty. Jakari says, "I wasn't watching much One Life to Live because it was my favorite." Why was that? I loved One Life to Live. I stand 10 toes down for One Life to Live, guys. All right, Crystal Williams says, "DC Soap Sanctuary in the chat." Hey, Crystal. Jakari says, "I dislike the All My Children Satin Slayer storyline." Jakarius, the Satin Slayer storyline, All My Children, I agree with you, was terrible. It was pretty much that Zach's father was a Satin Slayer, I believe. And then Zarf was the most suspected criminal. But see, this is the thing with Zarf. I get that Zarf was transgender. That was part of his storyline. That's why he was wearing Zach's mom's makeup and clothes. But I'm just like, you're making yourself a target at the same time while you're doing this. You realize that, right? You realize that, right? You could have picked from any clothes, any boutiques, and find out to go from. You had to wear Zack Slater's mom's clothing, knowing that there is like a whole serial killer mystery going on revolving his family. Come on. Adam 19 says, "Yeah, soap operas need more edgier anti-heroes and more criminal villains." I agree with you as well. Adam 19, I saw you in Albert's chat. You mentioned about how more TV mature and edgier villains would make for better for soaps, and I agree with you on that. Well, this chat is going fast. All right, let me keep up. All right. All right. Leopard says, "I don't remember the One Life to Live one. I will see if they have it on YouTube." Leopard, I don't think they do. I've searched for it. I don't think they have it. The One Pure People storyline. And I remember I'd never forget when it was on One Life to Live, Talia Saeed, who was the cop that was dating Antonio, she read this letter, and she's like, she read it in Latin. It was Unus Putus Populus, which meant One Pure People, OPP. Oh man, that was a good storyline, guys. That's the thing I like about One Life to Live is that even though that was a serial killer mystery storyline, it was done in such a different way. True to the show's roots, if you ask me. All right. Let's see here. Jakaria says, "I didn't like that storyline." Why didn't you like it though? Why didn't you like that storyline? Or are you talking about the Garden of Eden one? All right. And next we have here Nathan Banks. Remember when Frankie Frame was killed on Another World by the stalker killer Fax Newman? Killing Frankie off was a huge mistake and kind of led to the demise of the show. Was this during the Bay City Stalker? I believe that this was the Bay City Stalker, right? Leopard says, "I started watching One Life to Live in the 70s. So Leopard, do you remember the people, Bryson? "Cause you only have one life to live." Bah, 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 bah. All right. Otto 19 says soap operas need to be more black and gray morality. Otto, you were 10 toes down on this thing. I remember you my last live saying this. You were 10 toes down on this. All right. Jacarius says DC is just I prefer All My Children more than One Life to Live. In my opinion, I watch it for people I like, but the show not so much. Just wasn't interested in the show. Ottawa said, "Yeah, rated TV MA." Ottawa 19 also said soap operas need black and gray morality characters. Yep, okay, I remember that. Jakari says, "As I remember, I was glad that One Life to Live went off and happy that GH came on afterwards." I have mixed feelings about that because I feel like I always knew that GH would be the soap on ABC that would outlast the other soaps. I always felt in the back of my head. It was like an inkling of a feeling. And I was happy when they had the reboots with All My Children and One Life to Live. The only problem with that, though, is where we're at right now with GH. I saw this coming. Where people are upset about the representation, the pacing, the da-da-da-da-da, and everything about Carly and Sonny. I saw all this coming from a mile away back in 2006 and 2008 in that time frame. I saw that come from a mile away because I saw that General Hospital didn't focus on those things. You know, it made Sonny, Carly, and Jason the Holy Trinity of GH the whole entire show. And there wasn't any diversity. There wasn't any representation. And besides from their former years prior to that, there wasn't really any social issues. Like I didn't feel like everyday people on that show, if that makes sense. So I'm not surprised they're running into those issues now, if that makes sense. Is Candace still in the chat? I'm curious. Okay, let me see here. Going through the rest of the comments. Jakari says, "I was talking about the Garden of Eden Satin Slayer storylines. I'm still mad they killed off Simone." You know what? I didn't like that they killed off Simone either. I didn't like that either. All right. Alicia E says, "Nathan, who was Fax Newman. I don't remember that. I know Frankie was killed." Okay. Is that I'm trying to remember because I'm only just now becoming familiar with Another World's history. So I'm trying to think about that. I'm gonna get back to you about that, Alicia. Nathan says yes. During the Bay City Stalkers, so many fans were pissed about Frankie dying. I loved Cass and Frankie's daughter, Cass. Cass was married to God. What's her name? He was married to that author. I forgot her name. Jesus, what was her name? And she was friends with Rachel Corey. Okay, I can't remember her name. It was played by God. What was that? It was played by the lady who played Linda Dano. It was played by Linda Dano. There we go. All right, Leopardus says I had a huge crush on Bo and OG Clint. Love to hate Asa. OG Clint looked good though. OG Clint did look good. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. Like Albert says, hit the like button. I forget to say that too sometimes because I hate it when people on YouTube say that. Guys, like, share, and subscribe. And it's just like, let's see if we like the content first. All right, Alicia E says, love Cass and Frankie. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Alicia says, love Cass and Frankie, especially Cass. I love Cass. Let me tell you something. Cass was fine. I was around there that time when I'm watching the reruns of Another World. I'm in between the 80s and 1999 right now. So I know Candace mentioned the other day on her live that she did not like the Jordan Stark storyline Another World. But let me tell you something. I loved it. I love the Jordan Stark storyline Another World. I loved every second of it. It was very sci-fi. It was just different. It was just different for herself, and I like that. So it was memorable for me. All right, let's see here. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to read through every comment here, guys. Don't worry, guys. I got you here. All right. Chikari says, as much as I hate it when Like to Live, I was sad when it went off the air. GH had no diversity around that time. And Jakaria said also, don't do Jason like that because I'm a fan. Well, you know what, Jakaria, let me say this. Yeah, GH didn't have no diversity, and I still feel like in some ways it still doesn't. Not the way One Life to Live did, in my opinion. Okay, if I had to compare One Life to Live to an international soap, I would say it was similar to Hollyoaks, the way they had it set up and the representation that was there in that show. All right. Nathan Banks says One Life to Live was a very strong soap before it got canceled. It was, Nathan. It was. I just think the problem was it didn't have the viewership. At that point, it was a good show. And I think it was really getting well-written storylines. But at that point, it didn't matter anymore because they didn't have the viewership. They didn't have it, unfortunately. And I think there's a couple of things that went into it. General Hospital had the action storyline. So it was able to get male audiences and female audiences because there was a lot of men who watched General Hospital, but not a lot of men who watched All My Children. One Life to Live was kind of sort of in between. And then I also think because General Hospital came on at 3, that a lot of people I knew, well, I can't say a lot of people I knew, but there were a lot of teenagers who watched General Hospital. And I feel like that also helped too, why our generation, well, I want to say my generation carried General Hospital into where it is now because that 3 o'clock slot they used to have. I think it's one of the factors, one of many. I can't say it's only one, but one of many factors. Auto 19 says black girl morality means good guys, edgy anti-heroes, and bad guys, serial criminal villains. Yeah, Auto 19. I remember you spoke about this in the last chat, and I agree with you. I know I agree. I definitely agree. We do need to have our characters be a lot more edgier on the show, so I agree with you on that. Liz Chemo Beauty says Leopardus. I had a crush on Cord. Ooh, Cordero. I would like to live. Cord was fine back in the day. All right, Dola Medic says when GH became General Mopspittle, it was his downfall. You know, Dola Medics, here's the thing. I get that. Honestly, General Mopspittle is, I think, why GH is still here. That period kind of saved it. But I feel like they didn't. This is the thing with GH I'm starting to see in its writing. They didn't set the next generation up correctly. It's kind of like when I was on Kenneth's Lives, I was in the chat where I talked about how Maureen Bauer and Guiding Light, when she died, they didn't set the Bowers up properly with the next patriarch or matriarch, and Ed Bauer was just not that person. They didn't set that up correctly because there's only a certain amount of soap families that when the patriarch and matriarch dies, that the family can still survive if the writing is set up correctly. Like the Damaras, they're still able to thrive without Stefano there because the writers had certain things in place. So EJ is kind of like the pseudo patriarch, kind of in a way, not really, but they've given the family, I think, enough history, enough longevity, written enough stories for them where they're still able to thrive right now. The Cassadines are kind of like, kind of on a slippery slope in my eyes, personally, right? And if they're wise enough for the Corinthos, they're gonna put a proper writing in place for who that next patriarch is, which I'm guessing will be Michael. once if Sonny is to depart from the show. And it's very rare that soaps do that properly, in my opinion. All right, sorry guys, I'm getting to all the comments, guys. Don't worry, guys, I'm getting all the comments. I'm getting to all the comments. Hold on, guys. I'm getting to all the comments. All right. Hold on. All right, Leopardus says, I hope with Days streaming, if it is successful, maybe they'll bring back All My Children Would Like to Live, Guiding Light as It Returns, Into the World, Dark Shadows. Leopardus, I like that too in an ideal world, but I don't think it's going to happen because it just costs too much money to produce a serial drama at this point. That if it's not already on the air, I don't see a network going back to revisit. Now, reruns, yes. But in terms of bringing the show back, I don't see it happening. I don't think so because it's just a lot of money to produce it 5 days a week. That's why I think Pine Valley, when Kelly Ripa was supposed to bring it back, who knows what's going on with that these days, that they were just going to bring it back as a primetime drama once a week, which I thought was smart enough to make it marketable, you know? Jacarius says GH was basically focused on the mob. Yeah, they were. They definitely were. Candice Mack says, yes, I'm still in the chat. Oh, see, I'm behind in the chat, guys. I got to catch up. Candice said that a while back ago. All right. Leopard says, this Kill Beauty, I liked him too. Lakeisha Moore says, my favorite Life to Live character was Tina. Love Tina Core. Tina was a good character. I did see from the years that Karen Witter played Tina. It didn't hit the same. I'm sorry. It didn't hit the same when Karen Witter played Tina. It didn't hit the same. It didn't hit the same. All right. Dolomedic says Cass was married to Lila at the end. Yes, he was. And Cass went on to another world with Lila, I believe, because he was in Oakdale. They brought him over to Oakdale since it was a Procter & Gamble soap. All right. Alicia E says Felicia, but Cass wasn't married to her, was he? I believe, no, Cass was married to Felicia. I remember that. He was married to Felicia. So to me, I feel like that was a mid-December relationship, right? Cass and Felicia. We could pretty much say that, right? It's kind of like a Matt and Vanessa, right? All right. Leopardus says, this Kill Beauty, I couldn't stand RJ. RJ Gannon, I liked RJ. I liked him. Shikaria says, All My Children was business and family. One Like to was community and GH mob. So this is the way Kristen Allison put it with All My Children. I loved it. She said, All My Children was like the glamorous sister, right? One Like to Live was like the everyday person. And then GH was the mob. Everyone agrees that GH was the mob. That's what they were all clear on. All right, Candice Mack says Cass was best friends with Felicia. Linda Dano, aka Ray, would like to live. He married Lila towards the end of the show. You know what's sad about Linda Dano's character on One Like to Live, Ray Cummings, was that Sky Chandler, who was Sky Chandler on My Children, then came over to General Hospital and thought she was a Quartermain, so she was Sky Quartermain, then went over to One Like to Live and found out she was the daughter of Ray Cummings and the granddaughter of Myrtle Fargate from My Children. And Sky, I felt like, was a character being infused with so many different families. There's so much they could have done with her, but they missed the mark with that. Jakari says, that's how I would describe ABC soaps around time. And I would agree with that description. I would agree with it. Leopard says 10 likes and 15 watching. Okay, guys, got to get my likes up. Get my likes up, guys. All right. Dolomenic says, I thought Cass and Lynn Daniels' character Felicia were just best friends. No. They were married. Well, Cass and Felicia were married. Cass and Felicia were married at one point. Alicia says Cass is so cool. I love Cass and that voice. I'm about Cass's voice. All right, Jakarius says, how do you feel about the General Hospital text message killer storyline? I loved it. You know, I was thinking back to serial killer storylines earlier today. Sometimes I just had the weirdest thoughts. I was thinking about it earlier today, but the text message killer line was one of the best. However, if I would say which were the top two in my mind that trump out of all that I've seen, it would be between Loving and the Salem Stalker, because it had the element of surprise and it was just very unique. Like in the Salem Stalker, everybody was killed a unique way. And it was the same thing for Loving. You know, when Jeremy had the cement pour over them, when Stacy was when she died in the bed at first, it was just so unique. It was so unique. And the Salem Stalker, what I liked about that is everyone died in a different type of way. Somebody was shot. I think Tony was killed by the tiger. Tony the tiger. But everyone died in a unique way, and it was an element of surprise where you did not know what to expect. And see, with Loving, this is the thing with Loving. I'm going to touch on this real quick. With Loving, I feel like with Loving, because they were on their last leg, they said, okay, let's actually try to tell a story. Because I feel like now, who cares about the networks? Who cares about this? We're going off the air. It doesn't matter. And this is the thing I remember thinking to myself when I was on Candace's live the other day, is that I feel like with international soaps like Hollyoaks, EastEnders, or South African soaps like 70 Lawn, Scheme Psalm, or Generations, not not the generations we had here in the States, but the generations they have over in South Africa, which came around the same time as America's generation soap opera. Interesting. But anyways, I feel like with those soaps, they have the opportunity to be edgier because they are broadcasted during the night where they're at. They're still 5 days a week, still serial drama, but it's broadcast at night. And I think that makes a huge difference into how the storylines are and how we can connect with them as viewers, as opposed to where we are here, where it's got to be safe. So with Loving, I feel like what I was able to garner from that time is they figured we're going off the air, let's tell a real story. And with the Salem Stalker, James E. Riley, the head writer of Passions, came on and said they gave him carte blanche and said, do whatever you want to do. Let's just try to save the show. And honestly, he did his job. He did his job. And see, I like that he wasn't afraid to kill off the main characters. That is what made people shocked. Like, well, what the hell is going on here? So the man did his job. I wish he kind of would have kept it that way, but whatever. We can't always have what we want. We can't always have what we want. All right, here. Alicia says Cass was so cool. Guys, I'm gonna get to everyone's comments, I promise. I read that part already. Kenneth Mack says, no, I said it was Jumping the Shark. It was okay if it was Days, but not Another World. Okay. I'm trying to remember where that comment came from. Sorry. Let me catch him with these comments, guys. All right. Adam 19 says Black Reality means good guys is edgier anti-heroes and bad guys is criminal villains. All right. Now, Alicia E says, remember when Ray Liotta was on Another World? I did see a little bit of that. Kenneth Mack says Brian Franz just wanted his pet. He should stay out there. Yeah, Brian Franz did stand 10 toes down for GH, as in Bob Guza. Bob Guza. All right, Jakaria says, I loved All My Children just because of the fusion and other stuff I enjoyed. I did too. All My Children was fun and playful, which I feel like we don't get from soaps anymore. There was that playfulness with All My Children we got. Leopardus says GH was starting something with the Ward family, but that died down after the grandmother died in real life. And the thing is, Leopardus, they could have continued it going, but they chose not to. It's something they chose not to. Even Epiphany, they gave Epiphany a good storyline in 06 with the heart disease storyline, and then when she was on Night Shift, they gave her some good material. But for some reason, they just want Sonia Eddy to be a background character. I don't know why. And see, Epiphany, to me, there's certain characters on soaps, they just feel like real people. I'm not explaining it. Like, Epiphany is one of them. Nina is one of them for me at least. There's just certain characters on soaps. I could go down the line, but there's certain characters on soaps for me. They just feel like honestly real everyday people. And it was a shame they didn't keep the Ward family on, especially since they're Quartermains. That was a missed opportunity. What are you gonna do? All right, Nathan Banks said, "Remember the Corinth Killer." Oh, I'm caught up on the comments. I was caught up. Nathan Banks said, "Remember the Corinth Killer on Loving. The Corinth Killer went on a killing spree, offing several main characters and forcing those out of town and to Manhattan, where the city would take place." Yes, I remember that. I call it the Loving Murders, but it's the Corinth Killer. Yeah, the Corinth Killer. I loved how they revisited that storyline when Luke was revisiting his past, and then when Nina and Sonny went to Nixon Falls. I love that. This Chemo Beauty said, I remember lots of diversity on GH. Jason was hooking up with Keisha, Mary May Justice, and some others. Well, this Chemo Beauty, do you feel like it still has it now? Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think GH does have the diversity now? Because I don't watch GH for diversity. I just don't. I don't watch for representation. I said all the time, I don't. Because I would be severely disappointed if I was watching the show for that. All right, Leopardus says, I agree with you about the mob save GH. It did. It did save it. I hate to say it. Bob Guza. I hate to say it, because you guys know how I feel about Bob Guza. Well, he's one of the reasons why GH is still here. I got to give it to the man. All right, Leopardus says, but GH could have did better with the hospital. Night Shift was good. Night Shift was good. Night Shift actually wrote storylines based around the hospital. It's like, when I would watch Night Shift, I was like, why can't you guys just do this on daytime? But maybe that's the key, because it's daytime. All right. Jakari says, P&G already quit the soap business years ago. Yes. And we were talking about that on Candace's Live. Whew. When they did that bootleg YouTube look for Guideline, I knew it was a wrap. I knew P&G did not give a damn about their soaps anymore. What the hell was that? That bootleg handheld camera look they had going on. What the heck was that? All right. I don't know what IT says. Was Pine Valley canceled? We just haven't had an update on it. Honestly, I thought that Kelly Ripa was going to do it. Susan Lucci was behind it. Agnes Nixon's son was going to be one of the writers. So I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't, unfortunately. It did not happen, unfortunately. Oh my God, no, so they're going to die. Hold on a quick second, guys. I got to go charge this computer. Bear with me one moment. Hold on 1 second. All right. I'm getting my charger because I can't lose y'all in the middle of the chat. But I'm back. All right, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. All right. All right. Leopard says OG Tina was the best. Yeah, nobody can play her but Andrea Evans, honestly. Nathan says Auto 19. Nope, there hasn't been any news of PV in a while. No, and that's correct. There hasn't. Alicia E. Michael reminds me a little of Michael Corleone, except the latter was smarter at first. Michael, as in Michael Cornelius, the third. All right, Albert Bostic says you're doing pretty good with the chat. Got a lot of people there, so keep up. I gotta keep it up, too. I got a lot of people. Got to keep it up. All right, Auto 19 says, "Well, Pine Valley will be on streaming, and I want Pine Valley to be on streaming." It was supposed to be on ABC. It's supposed to be on ABC. That's what they're going for because obviously, copyright and characters and stuff like that. So they're trying to keep it on ABC. George Blackman says, "Hey DC, hey George." Nathan says, "David Kimball YNR. Remember him? He was amazing as a villain." Yes, he was. But I feel like after that, they didn't do serial killer storylines that well after David Kimball. George Blackman says, "Hey Albert." All right, guys, I'm trying to get through these comments, y'all. All right, Nikisha says, "I love Sky. The actress is so good. She blended into whatever show while keeping Sky. Yes, she did. She really did." Dola Medic says the best thing they did with Sky was when they played her up as Tracy 2.0 on GH. Really? You think so? I feel like they were making out to be the ultimate mob wife. And I feel like they could bring Sky on back now and put her maybe with Sunny. I'm surprised they never put Sky with Sunny, though. Candice Mack says, "Okay, Cass and Felicia had some romances here and there, but nothing legal. We wanted them to be married, but they didn't." Oh, so they weren't? Huh. Okay, maybe I'm missing that context as I'm watching in 1999 because I've just finished up pretty much their final year where the Jordan Stark storyline is starting to finish up a little bit. I'm starting backwards in Another World, guys, so to bear with me. Leopardus says, "I saw some of the text message killer, but didn't watch much since Jason broke up with Sam." Honestly, when it comes to just Sam as they call it, which I don't think Steve Burton is going to come back at this point unless they lift that vaccine requirement. But then again, I think if they do, I don't see him coming back for a while, at least for a while. George Blackman says, "I love the Salem Stalker." I did too, because it was unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. Alicia E says, "I don't think Felicia and Cass are ever married either." Right. Yeah, because Candace is schooling me. She's schooling me. Alicia E says Salem Stalker was scary. It definitely was. George Blackman says, "Hey Candace. Everybody say hi to Candace in the chat." All right, Auto 19 says soap operas will be better and edgier in streamer services. I agree, because I think there's that thing with the networks where they're not limited as to what they could do. They're not as limited, honestly. I think that's the thing with daytime television. There's a lot of limitation as to the type of storylines they could write. So even though I'm constantly always saying international soaps are better, I think the primetime thing actually helped them out a lot. All right. Kenneth Mack says, yes, Cass and Felicia were lovers and best friends. Okay, gotcha. Kenneth Mack says, hey, George. All right. Leopardus says, soaps need more whodunits. Yeah, we haven't had that in a while. And I'm kind of disappointed with the hook. I'm very disappointed, especially for GH. I feel like Bob Guza wouldn't have wrote it like this. That's how I feel. I felt my way I felt about Bob Guza. And even Joe Farron Phelps a little bit. But man, they made the show. They kept the show where it was at. All right. George Blackman says, I agree. Auto 19. Dolominic says, one of the main things UK soaps have over US soaps, they aren't afraid to kill off popular characters. Yes, Dolominic. And we talked about that in my last shot. Yes, they're not afraid to do that. And I feel like it makes the storyline less predictable. That's the problem I have with American soaps. They're way too predictable. We knew nothing was going to happen to Dex. Like, you just know when certain people aren't going to die. You just know it. Brandon's death was a little bit of a shocker, but not really. All right, George Blackman says, Janet from Another Planet, All My Children, Those Are the Days. Yes, they were. Especially there was an episode where Janet was in Trevor Dillon's house. I remember she was talking to herself in the reflection. I don't know if you guys remember that episode. If you remember back then, she was talking to herself and she was talking back to herself in the reflection in the mirror at Trevor Dillon's house. Albert says, do you think Esme is the hook killer or someone else? Honestly, Albert, I got to catch up. I'm behind, y'all. All right. I'm going to skip through some of these comments here. All right. So I think Esme is a hook killer or someone else. I would hope it's not Esme because it's just going to be disappointing for me. I would hope not. I'm still hoping that it's someone from Sunny's past. But at this point, I'm like, maybe it actually is Esme. Leopard says, I love Epiphany. I do too. Alicia E says Nina is about as real as a $2 bill. All right, Jakari says Asworld turns the Oakdale Slasher storyline from 2006 was something. Yes, it was. It really was. Who was Oakdale Slasher again? I forgot. I remember Evan Walsh. After who was Oakdale Slasher? I forgot. All right, Dylan Meg says I love Epiphany. I always thought they should have built a family around her. They should have. When they had her son come on stand, that was opportune, but they chose not to. I have a $2 bill in my wallet right now. I don't like Nina though. All right, Alicia said $3 bill. Nikisha. Otto19 says, was your background for this video as a serial killer, villain, masked man, kidnapping and raping women? No, that's not what I was going for. I was actually going for the Salem Stalker when I brought this mask. When I had it on, I was going for the Salem Stalker. I wasn't going on that type of a background. No. Jakarius says that was in 2008 when they did the Heart storyline for Epiphany. All right, Trina Soto. Hey, Trina, I think you're new in the chat. Welcome. Let's get Morgan back. I agree with you. Is your background? Okay, I answered that already. So I think that was a duplicate question right there. Leopardus says, what do you think, guys? Am I catching up in the chat? Oh my God, guys. You guys are going to this chat. All right, guys. Hold on. What do you think about my theory that the killers maybe date players like Brian Smaltz and the drug dealer lady? No, I don't think so, because it wouldn't be as impactful. What does it mean impactful? Am I catching up, guys? I think I'm catching up with you guys, right? All right, this Kimo Beauty says the killer unloving was that when they would click the pen. Killer unloving was that when they click? Okay, what do you mean by that? This is Chemo Beauty. I think I'm reading that wrong. What do you mean by that? Shikari says at least Aswell turns to the rest of the bootleg camera crowd to the outdoor scene. See, I respected Aswell turns because they kept that bootleg YouTube camera stuff, just like you said, for the outdoor scenes. They didn't bring it to the main storyline. That was my problem, guy. Like when I saw that, I tuned out. I then only came back to watch for Phillips' return, and I tuned out for the rest. I was over. I felt disrespected. All right, let me go through these comments, guys. All right, hold on, guys. All right, Alicia says, Nikisha says, at Alicia, yep, $3 bill works. I don't have any of those. Leopard says 13 likes, 21 watching. Come on, DCers. Okay, I don't want a YouTube day. I don't want a YouTube day, Leopard. Just guys, just subscribers, just supporters. How about that? All right, Alicia E says Smoltz has hair in his face. Don't think Diane would have missed that. Yeah, I don't think so either. The DA Paul Hornsby is the only serial killer I saw. Yeah, he was. Dylan Quartermain's father was a serial killer. That's right. I forgot who he killed off. I can't remember though. Alicia E says didn't know Treasury still made $2 bills. Keisha. Yeah, I believe they still do. No, I don't think they make them, but I know they're still in circulation though, from what I know at least. Okay, Sconeful. I know it's not Sconeful, but I'm just reading it as Sconeful. Sconeful says hi, Candace. Paul Hornsby being a circle was crazy. Candace says, hey everybody. Jakari says I know JFP wasn't as in Jill Farron Phelps wasn't a good EP, but she knows how to tell the actors to pick a good Emmy reel. She does. Alicia E says, hey, Candace. Leopard says Smaltz would be working with that drug dealer girl. Oh, yeah, the one with the blue hair who sold out Sasha. Some friend. Nikisha says, I've had it for at least 5 years, maybe longer, actually. Hold on. All right, so Nathan Banks comes and says, the Necktie Killer on Days of Our Lives was pretty good, and Robert Scott Wilson did a fine job. They should have at least gave Ben a twin. That way they could start fresh for Robert Scott Wilson's character. I agree with you, Nathan Banks, because you know why? When they did the Necktie Killer and they had Ben come back, I think that's why now Ben is Alex, because they really wrote Ben into a box at that point. That's the thing, we have a villain on the show. If you want them to stay on longer, there has to be something that humanizes them, that redeems their character. Franco and GH, I don't feel like was really ever a character that could really be redeemed, but Prospect Park and Lawsuits, because that wasn't Roger Howard's originally intended role. It was not. It was supposed to be Todd Manning. And honestly, I felt like instead of Austin, they should have just brought him back as Todd Manning, especially at this point. Like, it's so not working. It's so not working for me. And I feel like this whole role as Austin Gatton Hall is disrespectful to him and his craft and what he can actually do. All right, Maria says, just got here. Hey, Maria. All right. Am I catching up, guys? Woo, Lord, guys, I'm catching up. I'm trying to catch up. I'm going to catch up. I'm going to take my time. JL Media, he takes his time. He reads the comments. Joe G. Media will take his time. Let me take my time because I want to get to everybody here. All right. Alicia says, maybe Leopardus, but doubtful that it's Smaltz. Auto 19 says black and gray morality is darker and edgier. And Alicia E says, I forgot about the Necktie Killer, Nathan, but I thought it was kind of a stupid storyline. Why do you say that? Especially when he killed Will Horton. When he killed Will Horton, I was hurt. Like, that felt like a dark death. Like, I felt that when Will was being smothered and his eyes were blotting out because he was losing breath. I felt hurt. Like I remember I saw Will die. I was like, wow, they really just killed this man. But Carlivati came and saved the day and brought Will back. So I'm happy about that. All right. Kenneth Mack says this Chemo Beauty, it was a sign of trouble, aka was a locket. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what's that in response to. Let me look up here real quick. All right. Well, all right, I'll figure that out later. What that was in response to. Leopardus says, I think there is 2 in this PC hooker storyline. 2 victims? Or 2 people that are going to die. All right, Kenneth Mack said Paul killed off Sabrina on GH. Oh, that's what he killed with Sabrina. Sabrina was actually a good character. She could have stayed, but once they killed off Sabrina, Felix had no more purpose. Especially since Brad chose Lucas, which never made sense to me because it always felt like the writers were building up Brad to be with Felix. So I never got that. Leopard says I was just throwing out a name, DC. Okay, gotcha. No problem, Leopard. No problem. I'm catching up, guys. I'm gonna take my time because Jail Jimmy be taking time. He reads these comments. I don't think I'm rushing through them. All right. Shikari says, DC, which soap actor do you want to meet if they was on a Zoom event? I don't think I necessarily have a preference. Okay, I would say Gene Francis. So I'd pick one, Gene Francis. All right, Kenneth Mack says this Chemo Beauty. So to the audience, when we heard we knew something was going to happen, but the victims never did. All right, Maria 15 says I can't with Esme. I don't know why she irks my nerves. She does too. It's just like another no. I'm not crazy about Esme one way or another. All right, Nikisha says. Jakari says I was hurt that Will died. Jakari, I was hurt too. I was so hurt when they killed off Will, especially with Guy Wilson. It makes me wonder. I felt like how they brought Guy Wilson back, which I understand that Chandler is his name, Chandler Massey, something like that. God, I can't remember that man's name. Something Massey. That's the original Will. Well, not the original Will, but you know what I mean, like the one who originated Adult Will. Obviously, they brought him back, but I felt like had it been Guy Wilson brought back since he was the Will that was killed, it would have been a lot more impactful for me personally to watch that. Nikisha says, every time I get excited about Jay's story, I'm disappointed with execution, lack of payoff. GH is actually the last stuff that I watch now. I usually have a routine where I watch Scheme Psalm, Hollyoaks, Days. Well, Days is first because it's broadcast in the morning, because I catch in the morning. Scheme Psalm, Hollyoaks, then GH. And if not GH, then it'll be Wine R&B. Wine R&B, I don't really catch them until like the weekends, if even that sometimes, to be honest, because I know I'm not missing anything. All right. Maria 15 says, I think Austin Maxie are cute, but whatever he's into is going to crush Maxie. She always picks the bad ones. Yeah, she does. This is a prop for them to set her back up with Spinelli, so I'm a little okay with it. All right, Albert says, hi, let Candace know when she went live yesterday. She had her setting on children's segment, so she couldn't ride the live stream. Yes, I did notice that. I listened to her live stream this morning, the first live stream she had it as because when I tried to mini player it said that you can't mini player a video that's made for kids. I did see that. Kenneth says, hey, Albert, I figured out yesterday, so I did another live and saw the chat. Okay, saw the chat. That's what she meant. All right, Liberta says 2 killers, DC as a PC hooker. DC as a PC hooker. Maybe I'm the hook. All right. Kenneth is chatting over here. Shannon Burge. Hey, Shannon. Hey, DC, new here. Great job. Thank you. I acknowledge everybody here. Because, I feel like when everybody's in the chat, I want to acknowledge everyone's comments because I'm going to do chat. I like my comments to be acknowledged. All right. Alicia E says, GH doesn't. Okay. I thought that was my cat meowing, guys. All right. GH doesn't use. Oh, God, where was I? Okay. Alicia E. GH doesn't really use date players for killers. They don't. I wish they would, but they don't. They're too scared. They won't do it. I've been waiting for the day they really kill off Sonny for real. I've been waiting for that. I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting for it. All right. Albert Bossi says that Candace Mack looking forward to the next live stream. I want to do a live stream with Candace Mack on Hollyoaks. I want to do it. Candace, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to email you. We're going to set it up. All right. Candace Mack says, Albert, 9 p.m. tonight. I posted on my Twitter and people said tonight. So here we are. Okay. Gotcha. I'll be there. Alicia E. I loved Will Horton. Chandler forgot his last name. I forgot it. Well, Chandler. Massey, I think it is. I think it's Massey. All right. Leopardus says, where can you see Hollyoaks? Okay, so this is how I watch Hollyoaks for some of my people who are watch British soaps. I can't say that name of the website because I can have y'all blowing up my spot. But the other way I watch it The other way I watch, because that website, that's also how I would watch Days if I didn't have Peacock. I have Peacock, but if I didn't have Peacock, that would also be the site I'll be watching Days on. I can't tell you, I can't have y'all blow up my spot. But the other way I watch Hollyoaks is on All Four, which is their channel over in the UK. And I use this free VPN app, and I use it, and it lets me watch it from that website in HD. So keep that in mind. Free VPN, and then the All Four, which is the network that it's on. So then you can watch it, because it always says you have to be living in that country. But that's how I watch Hollyoaks. Let's see here. Jakari says, DC, how did you really feel about the As the World Turns Oakdale Slasher storyline? I don't really remember it, honestly. It wasn't memorable for me. I totally forgot about it until you brought it up. I was thinking about the last serial killer they had, which was Evan Walsh IV, played by Ryan Serhant from Bravo. You guys remember that? All right. Nathan Banks says, also in another world, Ryan Harrison was killed off thanks to his no good brother Grant. Oh my God. Ricky and Ryan were another world favorites. I should have never been killed off. Grant and Cindy were the most toxic couple on the world. Like capital letters toxic. That's what I just thought of when you just said that, Nathan. All right, Kenneth says, hey, DC, I'm going to log off, eat dinner, but 9 p.m. I'm going live YouTube. All right, Kenneth, I'm going to catch you then. I'm going to catch you. All right. Oh, I'm trying to catch up with this chat, guys. I'm behind a little bit. All right. Dolomag says Hulu has episode of Hollyoaks, just a little behind. Yes, they do too as well. So Hulu's another one. Forgot about that one. But they're behind, so that's why I don't pay them attention. All right, Leopard says Dolomag stinks. Jakar says Chandler Massey. Kenneth Mack says, yes, Hollyoaks YouTube chat. Yes, we're going to get on it, Kenneth Mack. We're going to get on it. You're going to have to school me, though, because I just started watching Hollyoaks. All right, damn, I've been on for 41 minutes, guys. Golly. 41 minutes. All right, Nikisha says, Candace, I searched for you forever. You never show up in the search results. I don't know if you know. The algorithm might be bearing you. I only got it because James linked it. So for people who want to find Candace Mack, this is how I found Candace. I put in Candace Mack and then soap right after her name, and that's how I found her. All right. Nathan says, Candace Mack, just subscribe to her channel. Woo. Subscribe to Candace Mack. What do you think? Who do you think DC will win? Who do you think DC will win? Will Carly win her battle? Okay. Who do I think will win Carly's battle? I think it'll be Peyton, but I love the storyline with Carly because it's something different. It's re-exploring her past, and it's something outside of Sunny for once. Thank God. You know, so I like it. Alicia E says, Sunny's last day is coming soon, DC. I can feel it, and I may stop watching when it does. Okay, Alicia, let me ask that. Why is that? I mean, I know Sunny is the show, but I would actually like to see what does General Hospital like without Sunny, because I feel like there was a time where people felt like they couldn't imagine General Hospital without Luke and Laura, and that time came. And I feel like as long as the writers set the tone and write appropriately for the next generation, it could still work, because as it's supposed to. No character can live forever, no actor can live forever, no person can live forever. So they just have to set the stage correctly to where we feel like we could make do without him. All right. Candace Max says, in case you're more, I know, and I'm trying to figure that out. And also, thank you, Nathan Biggs, for joining the channel. All right. Gotcha. Oh, I'm caught up, guys. I am caught up. All right. Maria says, when Sunny leaves, I'm done. GH is done. Maria, don't leave. Maria, if you leave, that's one less view for GH, one less view for the genre. Don't leave. Don't do that, guys. Don't threaten to leave. We need you. Don't threaten to leave. In fact, just see what they do when Sunny does leave. And I know when Sunny does, when they kill him off, it's going to be like a week-long event. It's not going to be like 2 days where people are crying over Brando. It's going to be a week-long event when Sunny leaves the show. Albert says, I do love that the soap community is more supportive of each other than I've seen. Yes. I have to agree with that. I know like other soap content creators have said they've had their experiences, but I do love that the soap opera community with content creators, like we're very, and even just the community in general, I think it's very supportive, at least here on YouTube. I don't know about soap Twitter and how that's working out. That's not my ministry, you know? But I do like that as well. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I really do like that. And I think it's because we all have that bond of soaps and we're all very connected by that. And I do feel like, you know, the sane soap fans, at least, you know, like we understand that. We have that understanding of what's going on. I love that, honestly. Like working with Albert, Brock TV, JLJ Media, you know, like just getting to meet all these different people. It's been amazing. I love it. And I just knew when I did this channel on soaps, this was going to be the thing I was going to be able to be consistent with because I love talking about soaps. Dolomag says Maurice Bernard is pretty tired of acting, so I wouldn't be surprised he retires soon. I wouldn't be surprised either. He wants to leave. I know he wants to leave. You can feel it. You can feel it in his acting. You feel it in everything. And like Albert just said in his live, I do believe the stage is being set for somebody to be killed off or taken off screen. The stage is being set. And maybe they're saving that for the 60th anniversary. Who knows? This Chemo Beauty says, if Sonny is Sonny really the show? Because I don't miss him when he was in Nixon Falls. I believe he is a show. Even though I hate to say it, fans have said it. Frank Valentini said it. When I interviewed Fido, he's the director of the show. He said it. So it's like check mark, check mark, check mark, lemon, lemon, lemon. I hate to say it. And I know that if Maurice leaves the show, the viewership will drop. I can feel that. Steve Burton was one thing, but Maurice leaves, I know what's going to drop. I hate to say it. I don't want to admit it, but I want to be real with myself. All right. Alicia E says, I only started watching him because of Sonny. So what year was that? What year was that you started watching him? What year was that? Leopardess says Miss Wu can take over. Sonny leaves. See, Leopardess, that's what I'm hoping for, is for Miss Wu to take over. Miss Wu is setting her stage now. She's getting ownership of the Savoy, of Deception. She's setting out her roots. But they haven't done much with Miss Wu, which is a little bit disappointing for me. All right, Maria 15 says, I wonder who would take over for Sonny. Alicia E says he was still on and when he was in Nixon Falls, much as I hated NF. Much as I hated Nixon Falls. Andrew Auto 19 says, you know Andrew Tate. I've heard of Andrew Tate. I've heard of the man. Why do you ask that? Auto 19. I have heard of Andrew Tate. Sconeful. I know I'm not saying your name right, but I'm just pronouncing it as Sconeful. Is there a way to say that? SC Nonaful? Okay, I'm just gonna say Sconeful for right now. I started watching the show because of Carly and Barbara Jean. As in BJ. So was BJ adopted, or was BJ Bobby's bio daughter with Tony? Or was it Tony's daughter? They had someone else, but like obviously Bobby adopted her. SC Nonaful. SC Nonaful. Okay, SC Nonaful. SC Nonaful. Okay, gotcha. All right, Nikisha Moore says, we don't get any Miss Wu's POV. I want us to get to know her more. I agree with you. We haven't gotten to get more of a history between her and her backstory with Brad. None of that's been explored. And it's very unfortunate, I feel like, that we haven't gotten the chance to see that with Miss Wu. I mean, let me ask this. Besides Cody and Austin, what is one storyline of GH you feel like you would be okay with them axing right now at this point? What is that one storyline you feel like you'll be okay with them axing? And let me ask this too. Since we're on the topic of serial killers, I'm trying to stay on topic. I know we were going to be on topic, guys. I know we weren't going to be on topic, which I was okay with. It's okay if we get a little off topic. Which serial killer storyline do you feel like made the most impact to Canvas that you've seen on the show? Let me ask that question to you guys. Like, which serial killer storyline, like obviously there's good ones, but which one do you feel like made an actual impact to the Canvas that is still felt to this day on the show? Or it could be a past show too, that was felt up until, the show ended. All right. So hold on. Ooh, I'm about to be behind again, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, Jakari says DC Eve was the Oakdale slasher. Autumn 19 says Andrew Tate is funny and entertaining. That's the boxer guy, the bald boxer guy, right? This Chemo Beauty says, I love Miss Wu. She can throw some shade and she is someone to fear. She is. And I feel like Sonny has a true adversary on his hands, even though he doesn't realize it yet. Alicia E says they have to kill Sonny. He won't go off into the sunset like Luke. I started watching again in the mid-2000s. Okay. And I agree with you, Alicia. It would make sense in truer storyline if Sonny was killed off. Mobsters don't get to ride in the sunset. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. All right. SC Nonaful says BJ was adopted and her death was so sad. It was. Not Barbara Jean, not her heart. You remember Bobby? It wasn't funny, but you know what I mean. All right. Leopard says Tony's daughter with a wife who died. Yes. I remember that now. Automite says Andrew Tate needs to have his own edgier anti-hero streaming show. Andrew Tate final is very controversial. I don't know why, but for some reason he's controversial. He's like one of those like red pill people or something. All right. Nikisha says to axe Finn. It would have been nice if Finn was one of the victims. It would have been nice. Ottawa 19 says Andrew Tate needs to have his edgier. Okay, I read that one. That's a duplicate comment. Auto 19 says Andrew Tate is controversial. Yeah, he is. I think it's like he's a red pill guy or something. Alicia E says Ryan Chamberlain had a big impact. Okay, Alicia E, let me ask you this. You said Ryan Chamberlain had a big impact. How did you see Ryan Chamberlain's impact still felt to this day with Ava removed? From that. All right. Auto 19 says Andrew Tate is way better than Logan Paul. I catch on to a little bit of them. I catch on to, you know, because some reason when I watch YouTube, there's only like certain things I watch, which is like my soaps, um, and certain podcasts and stuff. It all depends. It all depends. Jakari says again, I hated the Garden of Eden storyline. What did you hate the most about it? What did you hate the most about it? It was really weird. That storyline was weird. It was weird. But what did you hate about it, Jakarius? Am I saying your name right, Jakarius? I think I'm saying it. I think I'm saying it right. I think. Let me know if I'm saying it right. All right. Leopard says Paul Hornsby was an impact for me. Now, why was it that he was an impact? Okay, so why was Paul Hornsby an impact for you, Leopardus? Jakarius says they really messed up the Ben character and got like they really did. They really did. But apparently the writer said they wrote him in a way if he wanted to come back, he could. Probably he would have been a twin. Shannon Bird says, I think Ryan's first kill storyline. Okay, had the first impact. So once again, Shannon, same question to you. Why would you say that? How did that impact the canvas on GH from what you saw? All right, Alicia E says, plus Sonny would never just leave his family. Yeah, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. And I think that's why they had to do Nixon Falls the way they did. And I think that's another reason why he couldn't have slept with Nina in Nixon Falls, because of consent. That was a big thing. Although I want to say this, and it's not to sound a certain type of way, I would have been okay with that just because this is a soap, but I understand the writers were very concerned about that. That's why I think Sonny did not sleep with Nina in Nixon Falls, and they waited until they got into the Haunted Star, he regained his memory, then they slept together, because it would have brought the matter of consent, since he didn't remember who he was. All right, hold on, guys, hold on. Auto 19, we need controversial anti-heroes and criminal villains. This anti-hero thing, Auto 19 keeps ringing. Auto 19, you said like 10 toes down on this. Or Alicia E says, Finn is just about the biggest bore on GH. Yeah, Michael Easton, it's not working either. It's not working either for me. I agree with you, Alicia E. Jakaria says, Ben turned out being the killer. Yeah, he did. He turned out being the killer on the Garden of Eden storyline. It was him. And he was the son of Fletcher on Guiding Light. Keisha Moore says that Paul killed Sabrina because I hated listing Sabrina. So, Nikisha, did you hate Sabrina, or are you saying you hated the killing of Sabrina? Okay, Albert Bostic says Andrew Tate is more of an influencer and stuff, has offensive for some people, and others like so mix the bag at best. Yeah, Andrew Tate is definitely one of those people. I think he knows. He makes headlines. Something like that one rap artist, what's his name? Da Baby. The Baby. Where that guy is known for being controversial. And sometimes I just kind of wonder, people just being controversial just to be controversial. So, you know. Yakarius is saying, yes, you was saying my name right. No, I am, right? I know I was. All right. Nathan Banks says, having Paul Hornsby as one of the killers on GH felt a little out of character, but he was shady when he returned. I wasn't too familiar with Paul Hornsby's character. But he was played by that guy. So the guy who played Paul Hornsby when he came back to GH, at least at that time when I was watching as well, was the original Ashton Locke. Which I hope they'll bring back Ashton Locke's character. I feel like they're smart, they will. This Kimo Beauty said Ryan still got Felicia shook, right? He does. Maria 15 says I want Victor to be killed off. Mr. Sheffield? That's what I call Victor. Cass and I call him Mr. Sheffield. You guys remember Mr. Sheffield from The Nanny? Was played by Charles Shaughnessy. All right. Adam 19 says, I hate politically correct. I hate political correctness. I hate Disney Plus. I hate Disney Plus because Disney Plus is family friendly. What's wrong with that? I mean, Adam 19, maybe that's just like the person's preference that they might want a family friendly. Everybody got to have different things available to watch, you know? Leopard says, when Paul killed the nurse, I can't remember her name, and he almost killed Lucas. The nurse I think you're talking about, Leopardus, is Sabrina. Auto 19 says, okay, I hate family friendly. I hate kid friendly. The baby's funny. All right. I understand. Well, hey, everybody has something that they want for them. I understand. Keisha says, I hated losing Sabrina. I liked her character a lot, but she dated Michael, so she had to die. Oh, really? Really, Keisha? Really? I like Sabrina too. I feel like when they brought Robin back, it puts Sabrina in a box, you know? Let me see here. Dolomax says, I miss Sabrina. She had a lot of potential. All right. Andrew, Auto 19. So I'm going to be on for like 15 more minutes, guys. I got my lasagna. Waiting for me. All right. Auto19 says Andrew Tate should be an edgier anti-hero and the baby should be a serial criminal villain. Who knows what's going on with the baby? Who knows what's going on with them? You know the thing is, I try not to keep up too much with celebrity news. I'm not really a celebrity news guy. Like I heard about Tia Mowry and everyone's just so shocked by her divorce. I'm just like, guys, these are celebrities. They're not God. Because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I've been in a relationship now for 4 years, and I can honestly say I don't ever envy or ever want anyone's relationship ever. Because, and this is something I say all the time, I could get married one day and be married for 19 years, and on the 20th year, I get a divorce. Things happen, All right. Hold on. Let me see here. Albert says, how are you liking this live you're doing for the second time? I love it. I feel more prepared this time around. More prepared. I feel more prepared this time around. YouTube is very complicated, which is annoying, but what are you going to do? All right. Maria says, LOL. Oh, yeah. All right. Wait, what was the last one? What was the last thing Maria said here? Let me just look up here. Because, I like to have reference. All right. If I look all the way up, I'm gonna be behind the chat, Maria. I'm going to get back to you. I promise. I'm going to get back to you. All right. Hold on. I'm going to get back to you, Maria. Let me scroll down a little bit. Hold on. All right. SC Nonaful says, Michael and Lucky lost the most partners in the show. They did. Actually, they did now they say that. But wait, who did Lucky lose? I know Michael. Who did Lucky lose? Wait a minute. Who did Lucky lose? Wait a minute. All right. Auto19 says I'm more of an adult-oriented guy. Okay, I understand that, Auto19, because that's your preference of the content. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You want content that speaks to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Alicia E says, I think Victor C is a waste of space. Wonder what they will connect him to. Wonder when they will connect him to Luke, maybe Holly. The reason why I don't like Victor Castle right now is Charles Shaughnessy is a good actor, but this is just not the role for him. Tao Penglis is my Victor. Maybe I'm biased because I've seen Tao Penglis in the role. So in a way, I'm comparing Charles Shaughnessy to that, which I try not to do that, but sometimes you can't help it. All right. Like, okay, Roger Howarth, how I'm comparing him to Todd Manning and even Franco, which were better roles for him than what we see now. All right. Zakaria says, the Salem Stalker has me shook because I never knew Days did a storyline like this. I didn't start watching Days till late 2004. I was 4 going on 5 around the time. How old was I in 2004? I think I was like 10. 10? Yeah, I was 10 at the time. Yeah, Days did a good job on the Salem Stalker. And that was because James E. Riley wrote for it at the time. Writers matter, guys. All right. Albert says, and Keisha Moore's comments are always funny hell. They are. They are. But I love Michael. I love Michael and GH. I don't know, something about Michael I like. I like Michael. All right. Dolominic says, are there any GH characters that you're currently supporting character that you think would make good leads? Oh, that currently supporting character I think make good leads. Epiphany. Gosh, I want to think about this. Who I think will make a good lead on GH right now? That's a supporting character. Brad is another one. Hold on, guys. I'm thinking. Gosh. Will Maxie be considered a lead at this point? Will you consider Maxie a lead? Or is she already a lead? I don't even know. I don't know who's who on the show. There's so many people I don't know who's who. I want to see more of the knife guy. I don't know why. I want to see more of the knife guy for some reason. TJ is another one. Molly deserves to be a lead at this point. She's been on the show since she was like, what, 8 years old? Like, literally? She deserves to be a lead at this point. My God. Or maybe she doesn't want to. So maybe it's her choice. Let me see here. Alicia E., I didn't like Sabrina, too vanilla for me. You don't like the Cinderella story they did with Sabrina? That was the last time I soap did like a little Cinderella story, where she went from, this dorky girl and the reveal of the glasses. I knew that's where they were going to. All right. So Leopard says Sabrina in real life got knocked up again. That's why they had to kill her. Oh. But they couldn't just have Sabrina get kidnapped to some island by one of Carlos's enemies and then bring her back. I would have been down for that. But I get they need the drive story too. I get it. All right. Keisha says, thanks, Albert. Nikisha, let's give Nikisha a shout out. She is such, what I love about Nikisha. She is one of the subscribers I see. I'm one of many. Her and Jakarius, and I see them like just always supporting, always in the chats, always in the live, Jamie's live, Rock TV. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate seeing that. All right. Maria says, watching and cooking. What you cooking, Maria? All right. Meeky Cobb. Is it Meek or Makey or Meek Cobb? I really enjoyed your live, DC. You, Albert Brock T, will have to get together and do another one as well. I so enjoyed it. Okay, I know when Albert sees that comment, he's like, CDC, what are we going to do next live? I'm going to get out of it. We got to get out of it, guys, because that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Jakari says, now I'm 22 and I'm telling my age. Oh, my God. Jakari's listening. I'm 28. All right. Alicia E says, the actor playing Victor is too cartoonish. Even Spencer is afraid of him. I agree with you, Alicia. Tao Penglish should be playing Victor. That's how I feel. Plus, he was the original Victor, too, on top of that. All right. Dolemeg says, I'd love to see Christina Molly and TJ step up on GH. Yes, I agree. Christina working the bar is not doing it for me. It's a very missed opportunity. But then again, maybe the writers figure Sonny has 3 other daughters, so we can just work with them. Maybe that's what's in their mind. It's not working with Christina. We'll make it work with one of them. But Christina's also a cast line, too. There's just so much they could actually do with her. But I don't think the writers know what to do with her at this point. MJ says, hey, DC. Hey, MJ. Is MJ short for Michael Jackson? Or Michael Jordan? Or Michael B. Jordan? All right. Jakaria says, I know we're talking about serial killers, but who's your favorite top 5 soap hunks, past, age, and present? Oh, past and present. Sorry, past and present. Christian Vega. Sonny Kiriakis, the current Sonny Kiriakis. Michael Corinthos. Who else? Guys? I'm thinking. Hold on. I'm thinking. Miguel Lopez Fitzgerald. And hold on. I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking. And Tom Pelfrey / Cyrus Foley and Guiding Light. That I can think of right now in my head. All right. Age, really, Jacarius, right? Alicia, Jacarius really so old. You're 22, Jacarius. Yeah, but you know, Jacarius, I'm sure at this age you're probably tired of people telling you, "Oh, you're young. I got your whole life ahead of you." What you gotta do? All right, MJ says, "Sorry." I was like, "No, MJ, you're on time. You're on time." I'm gonna be on for like another 15 minutes. So I'm enjoying this chat. I'm enjoying this. See, I forgot about my lasagna. Guys, me forget about my lasagna. All right, Nikisha says, "I don't know how much longer we will have for GH, so I just want to enjoy it with you all as long as we can." I agree. I feel it's on borrowed time because after Dave just made that move to Peacock, everybody should be scared. Well, except for Wine and BB. All right. BNB has international money, so they're going to be okay. They're going to be just fine. All right. MJ says, nope. Okay. All right. Maybe. Okay, wait. So I don't know if MJ, are you boy, girl? I identify as non-binary. Maybe it's Maria that the M stands for. I don't know. All right. Auto 19 says Victoria Conopo needs to have a bad girl comic type of character. Auto 19, you love you some Victoria Conopo. You do. She was badass, though. She was badass. I love Victoria Conopo. See her. She's badass. Sam Pibone. Hey, Sam. Why don't you have LGBT character storylines for General Hospital and the Woman Beautiful? All right. So, Sam, I can answer that question. I can tell you why they don't have it for B&B. And this is something I always keep saying all the time. I believe that B&B, yes, we know that B&B sits on international money. But I feel like in order to appease their international audiences, that's why they're not telling LGBTQ storylines. Granted, Weiner doesn't do it either. I don't know what their reasons are, but I thought for B&B, that's part of their reasoning because a lot of their money for their shows come from international audiences, just Monte Carlo and Dubai. And we all know how Dubai feels about LGBTQ people. Well, not so much how they feel about it, but at least how they feel about them getting married for that part. So I think they don't want to offend those audiences. That's what I feel personally. Because like James said, how do you have a show that's set in the fashion industry and there's no LGBT characters? And yes, they've had Maya and Rick for like 2 seconds, and then Caroline Spencer Sr., come on. But it wasn't doing nothing for nobody. Let's be real. It wasn't doing nothing for nobody. And they're not going to. You see, they keep telling the Brooke and Ridge storyline, and I'm starting to realize because their international I think their international audiences love it. I don't think they care about us. I'm telling you, I don't think B&B cares about us. If I was y'all, I would just not even say your opinion. None of these producers, these writers, they do not care. They were about what their international people are telling them. They're going off of that. And I'm telling you, that's what I believe they're going off of. All right, Auto 19 says Victoria Conopo needs to have a sexy character. Well, Victoria Conopo was already that sexy, kick-ass character, right? MJ Ken says wrong gender. Okay, so MJ, dear God. Okay, all right, MJ. You know what, MJ? I'm just gonna. I don't know nothing. The MJ is just a mystery. We'll keep it at that. Mystery, right? Ever mystery. I'm kidding. This Kimmel Beauty says, anyone buying Cyrus being born again? And do you think he's playing Spencer? I think it's a mixture of both. I think he's half born again. But you know what? Spencer has all his uncles coming to his defense. His uncle Sonny, his great uncle Victor, his grand uncle Cyrus. All these uncles coming to his defense. He doesn't know how to act. All right. Alicia E says there's a one on GH Sam. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what Alicia is referring to. But Alicia says there's one in GH Sam. Okay. I'm not sure what that was referring to, but if you let me know, okay, I can follow up with you. Dolominic says, I remember when they used to play up Miguel's hunkiness on Passions. He once had a shirt off in the show. Yeah, Miguel was Passions had some good looking people. But all the soaps did. All the soaps did. Auto 19 says Victoria Konefal needs to be a sexier anti-hero. Shannon Bird says, I hope Michael doesn't go back to ELQ. Yeah, I don't think he will. I don't think Michael will, if he knows it's good for him, because Valentine doesn't care about him. He will use him up. MJ said that's why Maya was written off probably. I think so too, because if I'm not mistaken, that was around the time B&B started broadcasting in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Leopard says, I want all soaps to go streaming this way, no preemptions. I agree, but they're going to stay on network TV as long as they can to ensure. Jakari says, for me, DC top 5 soap songs will be Chandler Massey. Love you, him. Okay. Carson Boatman, Trent Garrett. Who's Trent Garrett? Robert Scott Wilson, Zach Tinder. Okay, so these are all Days people. So Trent Garrett must be a Days person. Who is he on Days? Trent Garrett. Okay, fill me on that, because I don't know who Trent Garrett is. That's a new name. I probably know the character, but I don't know that actor's name, Trent Garrett. All right, Nikisha says, yes, it's streaming. Then we could watch any time of the day. I agree. I like watching Days at 8 o'clock. You know, as Albert came out with a review day at 1 p.m.? That's the power of streaming, baby. You know that commercial? That's the power of Pine Sol, baby. All right, Alicia E says Sonny was the hottest thing since Fresh Bread in the 2000s. Let me tell you something, Alicia. So when Maurice Bernard played Nico on My Children, let me tell you something. All right, this Chemo Beauty says GH did have Christina dating her professor. They did. The Parker storyline that fell flat for me. It really fell flat for me. Auto 19, Victoria Konefal needs to be in her skimpy clothes. All right. I think I know where you go. All right. I got you. All right. He says Cobra Kai used to be rated TVMA. Cobra Kai is darker and edgier. Trent Garrett played Asher in All My Children. Okay, who was Asher? I remember who that was. All right. Alicia E says, quite frankly, Shannon, I don't care where Michael goes at this point. Why are y'all so mad at Michael Quartermain? Corinthos. I'm sorry, Corinthos. Michael Corinthos. But he might as well just have his last name be Quartermain at this point. I'm caught up in my chats here, guys. Jakari says, I also love me some Carson Boatman too. You know, honestly, I'm trying to think who I'd say is the best looking soap guy right now currently that we have. Trying to think between all 4 shows. Who's the one? Zach Tinder is the one that stands out to me the most right now. Maybe because he's new. All right. Leverett says, I want the PC hooker to hook Nina, Carly, Rory, and Drew. I agree with all that except for my girl Nina. I stand for my girl Nina. All right. Gender stories. GH has one. What do you mean by gender stories, Alicia E? What do you mean by that exactly? By gender stories, the GH has one. What do you mean by that? Speaking of which, has there ever been a? Okay, never mind. I was just about to ask. There was a female soap opera serial killer, but there has been. Gwyneth Alden Unloving. There was. This Chemo Beauty says Curtis. Hold on. Oh, so okay. Wait, this Chemo Beauty quickly retracted it. All right, this Chemo Beauty. Are you saying that's who's your ideal male soap hunk is Curtis? All right, Jakari says Asher was Colby's boyfriend and Caleb's son. I remember, Colby Chandler was dating Sean Montgomery for the longest time, wasn't she? On My Children? Okay, Nikisha Moore says Heather Weber. What in regards to Heather Weber exactly? This Chemo Beauty says Curtis is fond of me. He is. Curtis is a good looking man. That's a good looking man. TJ is another one too. That's a good looking man. Curtis is a good looking man. He kind of reminds me of like Shamar Moore for some reason. When Shamar Moore was on Young and the Restless in his younger days. Kind of reminds me of that a lot. Do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember. There was a Men of GH calendar they had back in the day. I heard about it. I was a kid, so I didn't get it. I heard about it back in the day. All right. Daisy Flowers 40 says, I like Michael. I stand Carly and Drew. Okay, all right. We got some, what do they call Carly and Drew fans? Darly? Darly. Darly? Got some Darly fans in the chat. Okay, SC Notable says, I hate this Michael Joss thing where they are written as abusive hypocrites towards Sunny Nina. I don't like Nina. I used to love her. The issue I have with Michael and Jocelyn is that they were eating off that blood money for years. And now all of a sudden they seem to have a problem with it because now they have a problem with Sunny. But before they didn't have an issue with it. So they're definitely hypocrites. MJ Kent says, as far as serial killers, I love the David Kim one YNR back in the day. I keep forgetting who was David Kimball's most notable victim in his serial killing storyline. I know he tried to go after Nina, I believe, right? But not Nina GH, but Nina Chancellor. Okay, Alicia E says, just joking the cars. I remember being 22. Oh, okay. Daisy Flower says, Sona is so forced and boring. At this point, Daisy Flower, I kind of have to agree with it because I feel like where is Sunny and Nina going exactly now at this point? Now I feel like they're lacking not so much direction, but like a focus, like an end game. All right, Jakari says yes, she dated Sean Montgomery, then Damon, Tad's son. Tad had another son. Dude, where was I? Where was I in that one? Okay, Daisy Flower says crew. Okay, so they're called crew. Carly and Drew crew. Okay, crew. Okay. At least now I know when I see that name, I know what people are talking about now because I've already seen that, but I didn't catch on. All right. Jakar says, dang, I've been watching too much All My Children. Damn, Jakar, I thought I was the ultimate All My Children fan. You just schooled me. You just schooled me on All My Children. I didn't even know that. I remember Jamie as Tad's son, and then Tad had the daughter with Dixie Kate, and then Tad also thought of JR as his son too as well. Dolomec says Nina's one of my favorite characters on GH, but that might be because of Cynthia Watros. Yes, I didn't really care for Nina when Michelle Stafford was in the role. Nothing against her. It's just Cynthia Watros. I enjoy it. I like Michelle Stafford as Phyllis, but when she was playing Nina, it didn't do anything for me. SC Noniful says, I think they want Michael and Joss to be Sona's enemies. Yeah, they do. But I don't know. In a weird way, if I was in their position, I think I would stay out of it. I'm the type of person that I feel what goes on between other people is other people. I try to stay out of it as much as possible. It's the kind of person I am. Alicia says, Liz's doctor friend, can't think of her name. The one who's transgender. Terry, that's her name, Terry. This Kim Beauty says, Nia dancing out the room at the thought of Ava's marriage breaking up was too much. Nia dancing out of the room at the thought of Ava's marriage breaking up was too much for me. Ava and Nicholas, or Nava. Do people even call them Nava anymore? I feel like they don't even have that name anymore because people are so mad at Marcus Colombo for whatever reason. But I don't know. I have to get my head together on the thought of that. I just feel like Ava's just so much more. But anyway, so let me into that a little bit. Leopard says this came up. Her name is Terry. Yep. And Keisha says, why Nina still have on that dress today, though? What dress is Nina wearing? I'm trying to remember. What dress is Nina wearing? I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the knife guy. Oh, by the way, if I had to add some hunks in my list, Jacarius, I'm adding a knife guy to the list. Knife guy is one of them. He's added to the list. Knife guy. I'll add knife guy to the list. Okay, okay. Oh, Daisy Flower says GH full of hypocrites. Name one person who is not a hypocrite on GH. Robin. I'll say Robin. All right. Sona hasn't hit the sheet since Sunny cheated. They have it. Liz is okay. Hold on. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see. Make sure I got everyone's comments. I get everybody. If I didn't get any of your questions, you can always just repost it. And I promise I got you. All right. So Alicia E says, Sunny and Nina have no passion. Yeah, I gotta admit that there obviously was chemistry again, but the spark is no longer there. SC Noniful says, dude, they need to wrap up these paternity/maternity stories. How many do we have right now on GH? Oh, so GH we have two. We have the Curtis and Trina thing, and then we have Willow and Nina. And when Nina was like walking over, she saw, Willow hugging TJ, which honestly, I wouldn't mind it if it would have been soapy if Willow had just found out she was dying and then slept with TJ in the process. And then it was like, who's the daddy? Is it Michael or is it TJ? That would have been soapy, but I guess not. Guess not. All right. Oh, let me scroll up. Let me scroll up. Hold on, guys. Let me scroll up. All right, guys. How you loving my chat today, guys? Hold on. Let me scroll up here. All right. Really, Nikisha? Sorry, Nina has been dancing around that purple dress for 2 days. Really, Nikisha? Nina has been dancing around that purple dress for 2 days. It seems like you just want to walk up to Nina, get a scissor, and cut that dress off of her. All right, Nikon says, why in the world or why not put Nick and Sally together? Sally should have been Mrs. Jack Abbott. Sally should have been Mrs. Jack Abbott. Missed opportunity there. I don't know. This Adam just is not, it's not there for me. It's not there for me with this Adam. It's not there for me. It's not there for me. Daisy Flower says, issue between Joss and Nina is the hurt she caused Carly. Joss and Nina had a close relationship when she broke that bond. This is the thing with Nina. She did call Carly, though, low key. She did call Carly when Sunny first came to Nixon Fall. She did call her. That was her first instinct, was to call her. She did call her. All right, Auto19 says, I love anti-heroes. Yep, we know you do, Auto19. And thank you guys for rocking me this song in the chat. 23 people in the chat. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I appreciate it. Daisy Flower says, Robin was so judgmental. She was. I'm not going to lie. She was a little bit. She was. But I feel like Robin was one of those few characters of the show that was like the moral compass of the show. Auto19 says, I'm an anti-hero addict. I know that. Okay, Auto19, I see. Auto19 is kind of edgy. Auto19, I see it. I appreciate you being in the chat. Appreciate it. This Chemo Beauty says, Nina all in Willow business and doesn't know the flavor of the Kool-Aid. Yeah, because my thing is, like, even if Willow knows that she's cheating on Michael with TJ, let's say she was, what does that have to do with her being a mother? Well, okay, that brings an interesting question. Is the way that someone is in a relationship, romantic relationship, does that also have a bearing on their personal character? Do you guys feel it's separate? See, that's the question I'm posing you guys right now. Is that separate? So basically, if Nina was cheating on Michael with TJ, does that really have any bearing on her personality as a mother, or the person who she is outside that relationship with TJ? All right. Leverett says Sana have no chemistry, period. Oh, hold on. That is my chat. Hold on. All right. MJ Can, thank you for that, Leopardus, that comment. MJ Can says, because Nick has been with everyone else except for his kids and Tessa. I feel like Sally is like writers gave Nick something to do. That's how I feel personally. I feel they just gave him something to do. Hold on. Auto19 says, I'm addicted to anti-heroes. Jakarius says, DC, I don't know why I'm so attracted to Carson Boatman. He plays Johnny from Days. You wonder. Oh, no, I know who Carson Boatman is. You know who I really liked on Days when they had JJ on? JJ Devereaux on Days. Woo! And the original EJ. Even the new EJ, too. Hold on. Alicia E says, I don't remember Joss and Nina ever being tight. They were. They had a close relationship because Nina was dating Jax at one point in time. So that was why. They did though. Nikisha Moore says, I hate to be beating them up, but there's Cody and Matt. Cody and Matt storyline, I don't think anybody cares about that. I know I don't care about it. I don't really care about Cody and Mac one way or another. I think Cody is a fraudster. That's what I think is going on here. I think he's a fraudster. Something's going on with him. He's somebody's son in town, but I don't think it's Mac at this point. Dolomax said, I'll be down for Willow TJ if they're on GH. I would too. Leopardus says, Drew has a little chemistry with Carly. If he still has Jason memories, he hasn't seen Carly naked in 25 years. Okay, you're right. Drew, to me, is Ryan Lavery 2.0. I still get Ryan Lavery from this character. I'm not getting Drew. I'm getting Ryan Lavery. That's how I feel. I don't know what it was with Cameron Matheson. I've seen him in Hallmark movies. I feel like Cameron Matheson plays Cameron Matheson. He's a good actor, but I feel like he's just playing himself. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I feel like he's just playing himself. This Camille Beauty says Joss was good with Nina when Nina dated Jax. Yeah, she was. Alicia E says, I don't get why Vic wants Nick to divorce Ava. Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't really understand what that was. That was just a weird, quick motivation that he had for that. I didn't really get that. Hold on a second here, guys. I'm going through the chat. Hold on here. Jakar says, I'm loving your live. Thanks, Jakar. Thanks. I'm on here an hour and 20 minutes, guys. I'm going to give y'all 10 more minutes because I got to go eat this lasagna. I don't like eating too late. And this is my one night of the week I get to eat meat. All right. Alicia E says, oh, no, I read that one already. Auto 19 says, I hate lighter and softer. Darker and edges way better than lighter and softer. Auto 19 says, darker and edgier and the best. ST Nonaful says, Lila wasn't hypocrite. Yeah, Lila was another one. I forgot. She wasn't. She was like the one purest character on GH. I had to say was Lila. Lila Quartermain. Senior. Not Sky's baby. She had Alcazar because Sky's baby was Alcazar is also Lila Ray. Well, she's Lila Ray Alcazar. So you know what I mean. Lila Ray Quartermain. Y'all know what I mean. All right, Daisy Flower 40 says, no more Who Was a Daddy storylines. Joss and Nina were close when he was dating Jax. Joss is going intern when need. Okay. The Who Was a Daddy storylines, I think so. It's not an issue, I think, honestly, Daisy, if they keep doing those typical tropes like amnesia and stuff. I just feel like as long as it's explored in a different type of way, that makes it unique every time they do it. All right, Auto 19 says, I love dark and edgier. Auto 19, I think Andrew Tate is way better than the baby. And Auto 19, I'll be honest, I don't have an opinion on those two either way. Honestly, I don't have an opinion on those two either way. Daisy Flower says, SC Nonaful, you didn't see Lila with Mary May. Willow is basically Robin. That's a good comparison. Okay, that's a good comparison right there. Willow is basically Robin. Okay, I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that a little bit. SC Nonaful says, Lila hurt my Mary May. What did Lila do to Mary May? Didn't she embrace Mary May Ward? I believe they had a conversation. They embraced each other, didn't they? From what I saw. I mean, I'm sure there was a moment before that, but for most part, she embraced Mary May. Because Mary May was talking about how, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, the time when she was with Edward, because of the fact that she was black, he was white. What was something like that on their storyline, I believe? Alicia E says she's been wearing that simpering long look longer than that purple dress. Okay. You guys have a problem with this purple dress. What's going on? All right. Sally's too young for Jack. Lila was a Karen to Mary May. Lila was a Karen to Mary May. Sally is kind of young for Jack, but it was a May to summer relationship. And I don't know. I felt like they had chemistry. It was weird, but it was like, I don't know, to me, I found it intriguing. The reason why I found it intriguing was because we haven't seen May to summer relationship in a long time on a soap. And there is obviously a huge age gap between Sally and Jack, but I just felt made for something mesmerizing. She became Mrs. Jack Abbott, Sally Abbott. I don't know, something about that storyline. I feel like there's some ways they could have taken that. Even with Hillary, when I thought first they were going to put Hillary with Jack, and they didn't. Her and Jack became really good friends. Dolomag says, don't forget to throw some love. Eli and Xander's like, oh, thank you, Dolomag. I forgot Eli. I forgot him. Eli would have to be number one. Eli would be number one. I knew I forgot someone. Eli would have to be number one. He'd be number one. Brandon Walker was all right. He was all right. Now, Tech Kramer, who was one of Abe's detectives, just like Lexi. Now, Tech Kramer, he was good. But Eli, yes on Eli, yes. All right, definitely agree with Eli. Eli was everything. All right, Willow said. Alicia E says, okay, bye, Leopardess. Leopardess says, body scene gang, stay safe, have a nice time. All right, guys. I'm gonna end this live. I'm gonna end this live actually right here, guys. Pretty much. I'm just gonna finish it off these comments here. Alicia E says Willow has cancer and is pregnant. Doubt she's complaining affair. Yeah, she got too much stuff to handle right now. She got enough to keep her busy. MJ says, what do you think the story is with Allie and YNR hiding something? I didn't even know that Allie was even hiding anything, honestly. I feel like her and Noah are on once a month. They just do their obligational duty to be on, and that's it. But what do you think their theory is? Because I didn't know that she could be hiding anything, honestly. The characters of Noah and Allie, it's something, but it's just very bland for me, honestly. Alicia E says, I love the original Egon days. Another reason I stopped watching is when he left. Why are you guys always threatening to leave these shows? Y'all keep threatening to leave, and we're not gonna have nothing left. The original EJ could still come back if James Scott decides to come back, and maybe they might not put him back as EJ, but maybe a different role, like they did with the guy who plays Roman right now, or like even the Wayne the Dr. North storyline on D back in 2004 with the original Roman from that time. Keisha Moore says, I think he's a good actor. He's just playing himself. He's supposed to be acting like Drew, though. I can't with Ryan as Drew. I can't either. He's playing himself. I agree. He's playing himself. I agree. He's definitely playing himself. And it's okay, but it's just, I've seen Cameron like this in every single role. I've seen him in Hallmark movies. It's the same. He's just the same person. And it works. But this is not Drew Kane, though. Not the Drew Kane I knew, at least. Okay, Alicia says, I agree. Cameron M just plays himself. Exactly. Daisy Flower says, Sally is May 1998 and Jack is December 1957. Holy crap. Okay, but Sally's obviously older than 1998. She's older than that. She's older than that. Daisy Flower says, Dex is hot. Yeah, Dex is okay. I was more interested in the knife guy. The knife guy looked good. The knife guy was looking good to me. All right, Otto19 says, bye. All right, bye, Ottawa. Thanks for coming to the chat. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Nikisha Moore says, good night, everyone. Thanks for the chat. All right. All right, guys. I'm about done here. I think that's it. I'm about to wrap this up. Everyone, DC's done. Let's watch Candice Mack at 9 p.m. tonight. So we gave you a little bit of soap block. We had Albert, we had me, and then we had Candice. So, hey, guys, I loved it. I loved it. MJ says, Ali coming on the same time. Coming on the same time as Diane, which is weird timing. It was. And I honestly thought that I was hoping that Jack's son, Chemo, was alive, but they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that at all. All right, guys, but I think that's my live today, guys. I'm gonna get ready for Candice's live and eat some lasagna while I'm watching, guys. Guys, thanks so much for coming to my live, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I see Albert's still in the chat. Albert's just been lurking. All right, guys, that's been my chat, though, guys. That's been we talked a little serial killers, got a little off topic, but this is obviously soap talk. I just try to come in with the topic, and obviously we can free flow if need be. But anyways, guys, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I'm gonna see you guys on the next live. I should be doing my reviews this weekend. I'm gonna be doing my British soaps, my American soaps, all that. Well, I'm gonna try to at least. And you guys know also I'm on every other 2 weeks on this channel. And me and Albert are working on our third collab coming up. So you guys are gonna love that. All right, guys. Robert Member says, who is Candice? Candice Mack. So you can Candice Mack. So if you search on YouTube Candice Mack and then soap, I put soap after her name and then she comes up. All right, you're gonna see her channel. She has like 20 30 some subscribers. You're gonna see her. All right, Candice Mack. All right, she's gonna have all that. And if you click on her page, you'll know it's her because she did a live from 2 days ago. You'll see that in her video feed. So she's doing a live tonight. I'm excited for that. Excited to support her. I know JLJ Media is coming through with that. I think it live tonight too. Anyways, guys, that is my live for tonight. I'm ready to go eat. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys. I'm out.